So we're doing our second game breakdown, which I'm pumped about. I feel like when I first met Chris was already so good and scary. And I just want to remind everyone that like we're all working on stuff, myself included. And so Chris, obviously I'm going to be hypercritical. It's also things that I would be hypercritical on myself and make those decisions. So I just want to clarify that. Like a sports tape where, you know, my coaches are always like, you should have done this and this and this and this and this. And they don't necessarily do any of those things better than me, you know? That's how I feel about you. Like your movement is so good, your shots and your, oh my god, your close play is so good. So I hope some of those come about. But yeah, so this is one of our favorite players and people, NoLimitChrisTV on YT and on TT. Check him out and you're gonna see some great gameplay. All right, so Chris has 3 kills right now. He's in a 45 player lobby. Okay, nice. This is a loadout that I would take. He's got that fast SMG pistol. He's got the Jawa and he's got the sniper rifle. If you're a pretty good quick scoper, the sniper can cover a lot of ranges. Chris's skills and talents, he kind of has all the ranges covered. I think he opted for bubbles again. Playing to your strengths, Chris is an amazing bubble fighter. We're definitely going to get to see that a little bit later. And we got a lightsaber. What power is that? And he opted for the lightsaber over the jetpack because he's so confident with bubbles, I believe. Wait till you see Chris play with the bubbles. And so he drove over here to avoid that big ship, which was a great move because again, he's playing for the win. This is a little bit more of a passive Chris. Chris is generally a very, very push, active, kill heavy player. It's really cool to see the ability to turn that off. People go into their comfort zones. It's very hard to change gears. That's a big thing in paintball, is the ability to play fast or slow depending on the situation. This is a battle royale. And so for playing for the win right here, definitely playing passive. And he heard the radio tower go off. That cued him to go after this player. This player has Darth Vader with him. Takes shots at the car. He's going to follow the car. And so this is the Chris that I definitely know more of. And that is if there's an opportunity to get into it, Chris is going to get into it.
Where's this dude go?
Where's this dude go? So he missed that shot there. That car is about to blow up. He's got a chance to blow this up, and Vader's attacking him, which is great, but it only really took his overshield.
Where you going, dude?
Where you going, dude? Okay, so Chris is definitely getting comfortable. Misses the pickaxe there, but that was close. He still hit like a 185 shot or something on this guy. The gun switches and the slides are incredible. Chris is a really good technical player. Gets the explode. Ooh, this guy pushes him back. Smart move. And then this is where Chris gets the comfort zone right here. And so
can you please,
knowing what your range comfort zone is and then having those bubbles to reset a fight is a really good move. And so he lost this player. I'm gonna guess this player went down to the bottom. So Chris found another player here who's shooting at someone else. He hits 2 of those snipe shots, and this player does not want it. I think I heard another car on his right. Yeah, he heard it too. Chris is definitely falling into what Chris plays as more consistently and being very aggressive. Normally in this stage of the game, you wouldn't see Chris at 3 kills. That is something that I think hurts Chris a lot of the times, is engaging every fight possible. Like for example, taking those shots at that guy on the top and seeing that he's shooting at someone. He put himself in the wide open right there. I know he has bubbles, but ideally saving those for emergencies, especially not carrying health. And it's not bad to not carry health, but in those kind of situations, can be very detrimental. That's a great shot out of the bunker. This guy is pushing poorly. I think Chris is actually going to get this guy. Oh, wow. Another good shot. So again, in a spot that he didn't necessarily need to shoot that guy at the top of the hill, but getting that, oh, there's a shot to take, I'm going to take it. And Chris is going to hit most of those shots. What hurts in the end is where you leave yourself after those shots. And so being down in that valley out of circle is where a lot of times Chris gets caught. And so now he's made a good rotate where I think he's actually above this player and the player's down to his right. He's going to have to keep checking that off and not forget about that. And in terms of tracking other players, we've got to remember that player was shooting at someone on his left and Chris hasn't checked off the left at all. And this is where you can get surprised by or get thirded by somebody, especially coming up from the bottom of a valley, because you're going to be surrounded by people that are higher than you. And I don't know if I would have played the bottom of that valley at all before taking those shots, I probably would have gone to the top of that little hill previous and taken a look to see what that guy was shooting at, and then taking a shot at that guy. Stopping in these like little low spots without checking off the top of the hill, that's where you get surprised. There's a bush behind him on the top of that hill. Not that someone shot at him from that, but realizing the disadvantaged spots you're leaving yourself when you're slowing down and stopping. One away from top 10. I like the way that Chris is rotating this circle right now. He's still out. Rotating around the edge of circle and working your way in leaves you a little safer to people that are coming in late. And like in paintball, that's a really hard thing to learn, is which engagements are worth it, which aren't, because guns are the great equalizer. Someone can be better than you, but sometimes people can just hit really good shots. And if you're putting yourself in a bad spot for a third party, that's where you separate like people with really high win percentages versus low, is picking and choosing the fights to take. Playing passive in solos is a way to really avoid those decisions. Is this a good fight to take? You could just avoid all the fights, and then you're not really even having to make those decisions. But ideally, you want to find a balance. And so again, Chris saw this person sliding down the hill, taking shots, but I think in between those shots, if you're watching Chris's camera, it's very locked in on the players he's fighting. So the entire circle and a city is behind Chris right now. This is where you get third partied and you take shots from behind. And so ideally, every time there's a little break in the action, taking a look behind.
Oh, where's my shot?
He hit this person for 170 plus. Oh, they both hit each other for that. Plus 16. And so this player also having Vader with them is tough. Wow, nice shots. Chris stays on the fight, walks away with getting some siphon there. So he's got 50 shields, and he's going to get full.
That belongs to me.
With 6 to 10 people alive and with so much circle, if you're not checking off the back of that, you can't stay in that position for too long. And I think that like the comfort zone of Chris winning one-on-ones, Chris is going to win one-on-ones and two-on-ones all day. Such a good technical player with switches and movement, but it's about tracking those spots that he's leaving himself in, because if you are constantly leaving yourself in those spots, those are just the risks that you're adding on top of the risk of just getting shot by somebody else. And so for anyone watching, like every time there's like a little moment, let's just say you shot 3 or 4 shots with your sniper rifle and it's recharging, but you have cover in between yourself and the opponent, looking around in those moments is gonna keep you safer, and knowing when to disengage from a fight. If Chris had gotten shot by somebody else, and then that Vader player or even Vader themselves wanted to engage there, getting double teamed is never good. We're in top 5 right now. Chris is going to look for people. There's plenty of circle. I don't think there's any problem trolling right now to find bodies. I just saw a cyber truck on his left. I don't know if it's parked or there's someone in it, but if you saw that cyber truck on his right there, you always want to be the one third partying. Always want to be the one third partying. And again, Chris's confidence in a one-on-one, tracking this person down, and so now Chris is getting thirded, and he disengages with the car and looks for the third. I really like that. I think that's a smart play right there. In terms of reading players' psychology and realizing which players are going to push you, which ones aren't, seeing that player drive away, that's a great psychology read, and knowing that player wasn't going to be aggressive. This player is also being really passive, because they must have been in here this whole time and only took those couple shots. And Chris hits the double snipe. Again, tracking players, knowing that other player took that car to Chris's left.
I don't know where he went.
Definitely needs to take a look back, because the circle's back there, but could have tracked that other player over time. There's someone on the roof on his right. That was the one that was driving away in the car. But see where he leaves himself in this position. There's an entire mountain behind him, and that's actually the best spot in the circle right now. And that's a good place to get picked up by some of the other players in the lobby, and that's exactly what happened. And again, taking the shots of this person up there, exposing the left and behind him to that building, and that was not a good place to stop right there, just due to knowing that player was behind and giving them a free shot. But Chris ends up in the better part of the circle with a TIE fighter. So there's 2 up on there and then 1 down to the left. I think this is a great time to track the one down to the left a little bit, because those 2 are fighting. That player is blowing up Chris's car down there, or the one that shot him from the city. And so not knowing that player was going to take shots at that car could have been detrimental, but we know where everyone in the circle is now, and it's about choosing the moments into who to look to. So this is a good spot. Blocking out that player that was on the left. Still 4 players, so that X-Wing fight didn't yield a kill there. And so Chris full focusing on this player out of bounds, 130 shot, but needs to be careful of that other player on the hill to the right as this player comes down. And then we've also full lost the player that was in the city. That player doesn't have to leave, if you can see the circle on the top corner. So Chris again is forgetting about this player to the right and focusing on only the one that he's seen last. And so that's a 50-50 battle right there. He gets the shot off and now exposing himself to all 3 potential players. And then individually pushing this one. I mean, he did get a 130 shot, closes out that kill. 2 left. There should be one above to the left of him right now, and then one in the city who has circle. So he's going to go get the jetpack back. Takes a look down to the right, which we would definitely like to see more of that. But again, if you're in a one-on-one fight against Chris, shoot, you're in trouble. This player gets the TIE fighter back. Wow. That's a big play. That's a big play. Because now there's not much circle, but at least Chris has a jetpack here, and that's huge. And it was worth it going to get that thing. Doesn't get on it. I don't know if he's trying to or not. I don't think he has to. The thing's already pretty broken. Great play on the TIE fighter again. I think I just saw that guy down to the left. If you're in a one-on-one against Chris, and now he's looking for the other body. Okay, found the other body. So now tracked everybody. Nice. Got behind all of them. So Chris is on the outside. Probably can go down to the bottom just so the player on the left doesn't get a shot. Doing great damage. To see that player on the left, that player could have taken a shot at Chris. And now again, that player on the right could take a shot at Chris if they want to. But Chris is going to hit shots. And if you're getting pushed, you're probably getting shotgunned. But it's these in-between moments where right now that person on the top can shoot at Chris because he's focused on the one on the bottom, the one that they can see. So ideally, if Chris moved to the left side of this rock, and even forgetting about circle a little bit, but again, look at this position that we're left in here, in the open on the bottom. Everyone's hurt right now except for Chris, which is great, but ideally, just giving up on this fight right here. He's trying to fight both people at the same time, while that player is isolating the one to their right, and so Chris is not isolating either one. You don't want to be seeing 2 players in your screen at a time, and again, circle is far left, and so to push this player up on the top is going to make it, even if Chris wins this fight, still going to have to circle behind, and lost that player on the left, so he's actually rotating into that other player. He's probably going to get shot in the back here in a second. Oh, actually, this player pushed the top, and so now Chris has circle behind, and this is a great shift. If Chris can get this top of the hill or rock, I think we're going to close this out. But great shift into the circle here, make those 2 fight. Gets a great shot on that player on the left, and actually isolating that one on the left now to shoot at the right, but as Chris takes that jetpack up, also exposing the left again. And so this is a time where doesn't need to shoot at the guy at the bottom. I think he should be shifting deeper into circle because that player on the hill is going to shoot at one of them, and smartly choosing Chris because Chris is the one in the power position here. And so neither of these players are fighting because, again, Chris being in the power position. And now Chris loses hill and circle on this. But I think Chris has the most health right now still. And so ideally, I think Chris should be rotating the left behind that other player. But, okay, he has track of 1. Great shot, by the way. He got blocked, but what a quick snipe. That other player, I just heard them get cracked. I would probably focus the right because he knows that that's the circle that he's got to rotate into. Pressuring this one on the left is great, but see how he looked back at that rock that player was at? That player, if they didn't get cracked by this Boba Fett player, would have probably shot Chris in the back. And I don't think Chris needs to be fighting this as hard. These 2 are pretty locked in, and if Chris just rotates back to the other side, and this player would now put themselves in the bad position, they can get shot by either or. Nice. And now Chris is in the one-on-one. Chris does not lose these. Chris does not lose these. Nice.
Let's go.
Let's go. W. Shoo, those snipes were nice. Dang, you don't want to be in a head-to-head fight with Chris. That's facts.
Had to lock in right there.
Dang, Pookie's a winner. Not only is Chris just a phenomenal individual player, but also a great teammate and that's hard to have both. Chris, in terms of that game, can we get a breakdown from you in terms of what you felt
Bro.
went well and what didn't go well? Start with what didn't go well.
I think the car fight, like when he shotgunned me really bad, I thought I was dead there.
It was just because of his shot, or was there like any positioning or like choices in that made it bad to you? You don't know? Okay. And then in terms of what went, so there was that one engagement for sure. And then let's talk about what went good. What'd you feel good about in that game, and where were your comforts?
I felt like my aim was really good.
Yeah, you were hitting.
And having a car, like, it's really good.
Yeah, your car fights are really strong, and so are your bubble fights. So
I feel like, yeah.
yeah, playing
feel
in
like
your
really-
comfort zone with that. It was nice to see you hitting those deep shots too. That was.
Yeah, thank you.
I think in terms of engagements, you're gonna see when I send you the video, there's like a lot of moments, at least for me, that scared me. I'm never scared for you in a heads-up fight.
Yeah.
The one-on-ones so strong, but the problem is, especially when you're playing solos or like a bigger games, you're almost lucky to have a bunch of one-on-ones and not get thirded. And there was a lot of moments in that match where you could have gotten thirded, where you were exposed to 2 players at a time. It only happened once, I think, when I called it out. I was like, oh, Chris is exposed to this person behind him, that Chris knows this person's there, and then they tagged you with a big snipe. But you'll see those moments in the future, or in those, and then hopefully that you can walk away with that of like, oh, okay, I see what Nick's talking about in those moments. If you want to see how to switch through your inventory, I mean, in a perfect way, like, Chris is on it. If you aren't following Chris on TT or on YT, great person, amazing part of our community for sure. Like, pushes the envelope in terms of play and is very competitive, but also is very compassionate. That's a great example of what we're going for, and that's why, like, I love playing with Chris, because it's like the best of both worlds. And again, that's hard to achieve. Thank you for doing that. I mean, I know that's scary, and you were like,
yeah, I was scared.
but yeah, thank you, Chris. Much love, my friends.
Yeah, dude, me too. It's so
Alright.
cool, bro.
I'll see you soon, baby.
Later.
Dude, NoLimitChris.